What's up, guys? Today we'll cover a very realistic way to do market research. So, if you're an offer owner, you sell a course, a digital service, or you're a coach or a consultant, this video will be immensely helpful for you to number one, know your prospect specific pain points and desires so you can speak to these things directly in your marketing messages. If you've ever been reading a sales message and thought to yourself, damn, this sounds like exactly what I need. This is entirely thanks to the research process. The more research you do, the more your readers and prospects will feel like you understand what's going on with them and their personal lives. So by watching to the end of this video, hopefully you will be able to do the same in your marketing messages, whether that's sales pages, websites, social media content, or your emails. Reason number two, I guess, why I think you should always do more research is so that you have an arsenal of content ideas at your disposal at any given moment. If you create any kind of content online, then you know that the ideation process is super time consuming. Doesn't matter, like I said, if you're creating social content or email writing. So having a list of ideas that you can pick from every single day is extremely useful. Once you have this research process down, you'll never really struggle to come up with any content ideas. So I've realized that after working with clients in wildly different niches, that the only times when I really feel stuck or struggle to come up with a good email concept, 90% of those times it's because I either don't know the product as well as I should, or I don't have a deep enough understanding of the market I'm selling to. And I'm sure this will be similar to a lot of you watching this video, which if you're still watching so far, I can assume that you're struggling with some of these things as well. So here's how you can do a better job of understanding your or your client's market by doing proper market research. An important thing to note is that there are different levels of research, and how deep you go in this whole process is up to you, or how much time or how much you're getting paid to do this. If you're selling your own stuff, I recommend doing extensive research and documenting it on a Google document, as I will show you later in this video, so you can have a living document to come back to anytime you're writing an email, creating a new offer, or even outsourcing work to a freelancer. I know personally, I would absolutely love it if each one of my clients had this research done prior to us working together. It would save us both a ton of time. That is probably a topic for another time. So I will just go ahead and get straight into this research portion. So I'll start with the most obvious and reliable ways to get feedback from your audience. This may not really apply to you if you have 0 customers right now, but if you already have an audience online or a significant email list, you can start here and then save yourself lots of time. So the first step is to conduct a customer survey. Now, you'll probably hear this a lot, but let me just tell you right now, not all surveys are created equal. You want your survey questions to be a mix of multiple choice questions and long text answers. The long answers should be reserved for questions having to do with the readers explaining something more in detail. For example, I may ask a question in a survey that is, what is motivating you to, let's say, start working out? What is motivating you to start investing? What is motivating you to start doing proper research on your market? These types of questions invite longer answers. So if you frame the survey right, you'll have people giving you full-blown answers that'll really help you get down to the reason why people are interested in your product or services. So this is an example of a survey I did for a client selling an Airbnb investing course. You can see that in this section of the survey, not only am I uncovering these pain points, but there are also a lot of similarities in the answers, as in people want to build financial and time freedom. Obviously, financial freedom is something that we all want, but it's interesting that they would all use the same kind of terminology. They could have just as easily said, I want to make a ton of money, I want to be filthy rich, or something else. So in my copy, I will use the term financial freedom when I am describing the dream outcome. I really hope that you're starting to see how this all works. You'll see a similar process when you do research outside of surveys. Actually, here's exactly how we do that. All right, guys, so I realized I made that last video and I did not include a real life example of what these surveys look like or what tools you can use to conduct these surveys. Obviously, you can go with any of the survey softwares like SurveyMonkey, JotForm, Typeform. There are tons of software out there that you can use. However, I'd like to use the free stuff, and honestly, the thing that most of the people taking the survey are going to be familiar with, and that is Google Forms. It's pretty simple for you and your client to kind of go over these results together. And here is what the answers look like. I'll just use this question as an example. Which statement below do you identify with? Most people said 43%. Most people said, sorry, I'm thinking about starting my Airbnb business. These are all options that I thought people were going to pick. However, this one was obviously the winner. So I know that in my messaging, I'm mostly going to be speaking towards people that want to start an Airbnb business versus someone that's already, a solidified real estate investor, or someone that already, has a huge rental portfolio, because the way I would talk to these two different people is very different. So you can start to see how this is going to impact and help me better cater my messaging to our actual target audience. Let's get back to the video. So first, I should have actually started here with this Google Doc. All right, guys, so this is the Google Doc that I use religiously anytime I'm doing customer research. So what you will need to do, a couple of pro tips if you're following along: go to File, Page Setup, and you're gonna wanna make sure that your page is set up to page list. Why would you change to this? Because when you go to page list format, when you create headers, it automatically adds this little drop down menu. So let's say you're adding text in here, which we will be doing. You can expand or make it go away if you need to, which makes navigating your ideas inside the Google document way easier, in my opinion. And then you also have this menu on the left that you can use to find all of your content way easier. That is not required, but just thought you might want to know for organizing your research. So anyway, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to add to your Google document when you're first getting started, and you're going to fill these things in as you do your research. I will also show you how to do it, but you want to have these set up first. The first one is a header, and this is your problems. This is where you list the problems that your audience has. So I put a little description in here for you. So why do they need what you sell? The next one is going to be the fears that these people face. So what do they fear will happen if they don't do anything about their current situation? Then their objections: why haven't they bought from you, or why don't they buy from your competitors? Why haven't they done something about it yet? So this is any objection that is something that gets in the way between them doing business with you. Their dreams and goals: what is that dream outcome that they want to get to? And you'll have a couple of different variations of the way that, from my experience, and the way that people express this dream outcome. And so you'll list those down here. So these headers are the answer to the question that you always hear marketing gurus say, and that is, where are they now and where do they want to go? And I know you hear that question all the time because people ask it all the time. This Google document will actually answer that question in detail. So problems and fears and objections are where they are now. That's how you can think about it. And you can use the dreams and goals section to draw out the solution, which is going to be your product and service and how it's going to improve their life. Just keep that in mind as we go through the research process. I think it'll help you get a sense of why we're separating these things this way. So first things first, you will want to start looking up and doing your research in the most popular search engines for your target audience. Now, if you don't know where your target audience is hanging out online, then that is completely fine. That is why we're here in the first place. So if that's the case for you, I would start with YouTube, Reddit, Facebook groups, and other online forums. And then if you know that you're a younger demographic, then you can go after Instagram and TikTok. You might be able to find some good stuff in there. But let's say right now that I want to learn how to sell a course online. Let's say I'm writing for a product that wants to sell a course online. So I would go through, I'll make my face smaller. I would go through here and filter by this year. So I get the most recent ones. And click on the videos. We're not necessarily interested in the content of the video. We're more interested in the comments and what people are asking. What are people having trouble with? And so when I skim through these comments, I'm really looking for question marks, keywords that, that are green flags for me, that are kind of hot spots for me, are going to be the words help, frustrations, I can't do this, so my brain is automatically scanning for those keywords as I'm going through these comments, because I know that if I see a question mark or I see someone venting or ranting about the course creation world, or why they haven't been successful, or why they failed, or what they're having issues with, I know that this is one of the things that I can add to my list. And I don't necessarily want to add something just because one person said it. I will only add a topic if I see it repeatedly enough times. Let's go through this and I'll show you very quickly how to get some stuff. And just keep in mind, as I'm going through this, a lot of this research is time consuming and you will learn a lot, but you do have to put in, sometimes this is the fastest method that I found that actually works. Of course, you can also add some AI related stuff. If you really trust AI, you can do it. I've personally found a couple of things with AI that are not necessarily right or correct. So that is why I still like to do this process manually. Okay, so I see a similarity between this question and then the question this person asked. So she's a day trader. She hasn't quite made it as a day trader, but is wondering if she can make a course about day trading. And there was a question down here as well that said, how do you make a course before you have anything? So I think that is, we've seen it twice. Just for the sake of the video, I'm going to put it down right here. So people, they are nervous to create a course because they don't see themselves as experts. And we'll put experts in quotation marks there. And I guess we could also speak to imposter syndrome. All right, so that's one objection to why would somebody not buy a course on course creation, is because they have imposter syndrome and they don't really feel like they're professional enough to make a course themselves. All right, guys. So as we get deeper into the research process over here on YouTube, you may want to consider actually getting deeper and more specific with your searches. So think of something more specific that your target market might be looking for that isn't so generic. For example, in the search that I'm conducting right now, just how to sell an online course, I feel that is too broad as a search topic, being that there's so many videos out there. So if I'm going after, higher level course sellers, I may look up search terms that they may be looking up as well. So the whole point of this is to try to get in your prospects' heads and maybe look up things that they might be looking up, try to get served the same ads as they're getting served. So after I'm researching all of this, I'll probably get hit with a few ads on how to sell courses online. So just from previous knowledge, I know that course creators, coaches, and consultants might want to learn how to sell high ticket products, maybe from webinars, or they might be looking up how to script webinars or how to script video sales letters. Those kind of things are things that maybe not beginner people are going to look up, but more advanced course creators will look up those search terms. So that may be an actual better search term for me and a better use of my time to look up these terms rather than spend my time looking at very generic things. And so when I go back here, I look at pause it and then go into more of the comments, and we should see some more stuff here. And it's funny, even at these, I guess, higher level videos, you still get questions like, what software did you use to build your funnel? So I feel like, we could put this down as well. Want to use the best software, and just really double down on the software part. All right, so we'll back out of these videos for now just because it's taken a little while. And I mean, this process naturally takes a long time to put in the time and do the research up front. It hopefully should be a process that you only have to do once, but I want to get to other platforms here so that way I can show you. So as we come over to Facebook, all I did was just search up my keyword and you just got to filter by groups. And Facebook groups are one of the most useful tools that you can have for research because any Facebook group that is worth joining will be private. So you will have to join, type in your email address, maybe you can use a burner email and get granted access. But the cool part about joining a Facebook group like this is that people generally are asking questions and people generally want to help people in there. There are some Facebook groups where people are just, promoting their own things. Those groups are actually always open to the public. So if you find one like this one right here, this one's open, but you see there's not a lot of engagement in here, and people are always kind of trying to sell. Um, yeah, so almost every time, everyone in this group is trying to sell something. So you can see a lot of the open groups, people are just kind of selfish and trying to make a quick buck. But the communities that are actually paid communities, or you had to pay something to get in them, or maybe if you just had to provide your email address to join the group, those are the communities that you actually want to join. Anyway, that is how I would go about doing research for my business or any of my clients. Obviously, go as deep as you feel like you need to really get a grasp of who you're speaking to. And if you still feel like you need help writing sales copy, getting clear on who your audience is, or you need me to manage your email list so you can make more money from email while working less time, I'll leave all of my links in the description of this video. Check me out on Instagram if you haven't already, at It's Alonso Perez. I'll leave that link at the description as well. I hope I added some value to your life today. If I did, all I ask is that you hit like on this video and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you next time. Peace.